Hey guys, your boy KSI. Shut up and welcome to Beast, where we talk about Beast players. This week we talk about Akinfenwa. This guy is Beast. This guy is big, black, and strong. He's the strongest player in the freaking game. This guy is so strong, he can lift up a house, a horse, the world, the universe. This guy dominates and completely destroys opponents. And besides, look at him. He looks like a complete tank.
This is probably how a lot of us got introduced to the footballer Adebayo Akinfenwa, aka the strongest footballer in the world, through a KSI video. And for a lot of us, Adebayo's reach probably didn't go much further than that. He remained someone within the KSI FIFA space. But this was all in 2011, 2012. We were all younger, thinner, happier, had hope for the future. Adebayo's own book here came out in 2017, so why read it in the big 2025? Well, I can't speak for everyone from way back in 2012, but I decided that I wanted to know more about him. Because if all you know about him is that strength stat in FIFA, then you're missing out on the best parts of his story. I'm old enough now to know that there's obviously more to this man than his strength rating in FIFA and being a funny video game meme. Like I grew up, sort of, believe it or not. This isn't really a book review either, it's just kind of me talking about a book that resonated with me and why I think it matters.
Hey, yo, what's going on, people? You know who it is. It's Akinfenwa the Beast, and you're on my challenge. Not my challenge, on my channel. Yo! No, joke. God damn it!
For the uncultured who don't know who this man is, here's the first part of his Wikipedia page. Adebayo Akinfenwa is an English former professional footballer who played as a striker. Nicknamed the Beast, he was renowned for his huge physical prowess and goal-scoring ability, in a career where he amassed more than 200 goals. He never played in the top flight division in England, but that makes his rise as a media personality even more impressive. So you may think that this book is just gonna be full of football stories.
Hey, look, I'm perfectly educated enough for this presenting role because I've got a master's in being a beast. Look, people, I'm not one for gimmicks, but if you pick me, I promise you, I'll even walk through walls. Or fences, whatever. I'm your guy.
Sure, there's a lot of that in here, which makes sense since, you know, football's been his whole life. But the stories are more than just match highlights. The stories are woven together with his personality in a great way, really. It's about life, family, failure, mindset, being chased by some Chinese triads. We'll get to that part, I promise you. It's really a book about self-belief and being true to yourself, doing things on your own terms. His clothing brand, Beast Mode On, really sums it all up. It's not just about being a beast. Oh fuck. It's not just about being a beast physically. It's about self-belief. Fucking hell. It's not just about being a beast physically. It's about self-belief, no matter what the world says. That's what this book is about, and I hope that I can do his story justice with this video. The Beast, Adebayo Akinfenwa, My Story, foreword by Steven Gerrard. You all know him, right?
Yeah, of course. 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 Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely, you know. Yeah, of course.
At first glance at the cover, you may think that this guy is about to give you the best gym advice you'll ever hear. But, that's not true. I'll read it back for you. Messi might be the most skillful footballer in the world. Ronaldo might have the best shot. Good search engine optimization there, bio. But according to FIFA, it's Adebayo Akinfenwa who's the strongest. With a larger-than-life personality to match, it's no wonder the Beast has become an icon.
Adebayo Akinfenwa, stay quiet until you hear a stronger footballer than yourself. Paul Pogba, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Moussa Dembele, Erling Haaland, Aaron McLean, Sol Campbell, Romelu Lukaku, Steven Gerrard, Virgil van Dijk, Yaya Toure, Hulk, George Elokobi, Adama Traore. Is there something wrong with your throat, mate? You didn't speak at any of them. Can you put Thanos there or something?
Ain't none of them footballers struggling to be. Say that now.
Fair play.
Inspiring, entertaining, and full of character, The Beast is the story of a true cult hero and the never-give-up attitude that made him the biggest footballer on the planet.
Boom.
Now, if that doesn't hook you, I don't know what will. Now, goddamn, I already knew who he was, so I was going to read the book anyway. But if you are standing in the bookstore not knowing who he is, and you read the back cover and read that, who wouldn't want to hear about his journey? Like, no one on YouTube seems to have made a review about this book. Like, what is going on, people? It's either that or YouTube have fucked with the search results, which is the more likely one, really. I mean, fuck you mean here's related results? Get that shit out of here. Unfortunately, 200 pages in, I decided that I wanted to do a book review. Or maybe not a book review, I just felt like I wanted to talk about the book. Like, this is the shit you found boring in school. But when you actually get to pick a book yourself, and it turns out to be a good one even, like, you just want to shout away about it.
We're going to move up the weight to about 180. Woo! You know what that is? That's a big weight.
First of all, let me just say, I always thought this man was like 7 feet tall. But we're almost the same height. There was one moment in the book where I came to that realization, and my whole worldview just fell apart. Since I was a kid, me and my friends, we always went around thinking that he was this huge, intimidating tank. Remember, we had only ever seen this guy in KSI's videos. We had never looked him up on Google Images or anything like that. We had no idea what he looked like in real life. And that is kind of what I've been saying. Like, we didn't really care who he was outside of FIFA back then. I actually looked up how tall he was and how much he weighed. Like, we are roughly the same height, and I weigh more than him. How much do I weigh, you might ask? None of your goddamn business, I say. So therefore, technically, I am a beast too, right? More like a monster, unfortunately, in the negative sense, that is. The difference is that he is muscle and I'm fat, okay? Like, he would take me any day of the week in a Fido challenge. Like, don't get me wrong, he is big. But he's not this Goliath that we always thought he was. He's not a Goliath, literally speaking. But figuratively speaking, in my eyes, he is one.
I think you need to watch out for this man. What do you reckon?
100%.
100%.
100%.
Let's get into the book, shall we? I want to talk about 4 moments that really stuck with me from the book, okay? The first one I want to talk about is early in the book. We're talking young Akinfenwa here, like 15 or 16 years old. Yes, he was big even back then. He ends up in a 200 V4 standoff. 200 school kids, one of them being Akinfenwa, against 4 Chinese lads, supposedly Triads. I mean, like, we're on page like 43 or something here, and he's already having fights with organized crime syndicates. I'll read you this part. I say I usually escaped all the violence and most of the shit other boys my age seem to be going through. But there was one incident that stands out. I was in my last year at Highbury Grove, and it would have been 1997 or 98. This was around the time there were a lot of Triads coming into London. During lunch times, me and my friends often went up to Highbury Fields because being from a boys' school, that was the only place we could chat to girls. Akinfenwa, ladies' man. It was where we all mixed together. One day we went there and there was a group of Chinese lads. Something happened, words were exchanged, and the upshot was these 4 Chinese lads beat up a young kid. They beat up 1 or 2 others as well. Then the rumors started going around that the school was under siege by Triads. They definitely won the early exchanges, but you know, whatever you do in life, there are always comebacks and consequences. One day we found out they were all waiting down the road after school, so we rounded up all of our top boys and resolved to go down there to sort things out once and for all. Altogether there must have been about 200 of us, all trooping down there to face off against them, and I was right at the front. Even though I'd never scrapped, I'm a big lad, so I was confident I'd be able to look after myself. If it came down to it, in my head I thought I was on some noble mission to save the school's honor. We walked around the corner and spotted these 4 Chinese lads that had been causing all the trouble. Part of me expected them to run when they saw us, but nope, the opposite happened. One of them jumped up and started coming towards us, and I saw he had a lump of wood in each hand. At the time, I had a record bag for school, stay tuned. So I held that up as if it was a battering ram. So now we were both tooled up. It was going down. These 4 mental-looking Chinese lads were coming right at us. So I stopped and took off my record bag. Then, I swear down, I heard a voice say to me, "B, turn around." It was like a divine intervention or something. I turned around and realized that I was completely alone. All 200 of these kids that had been down behind me seconds earlier had run off down the road and left me on my own. So there I was, outnumbered 4-1. I remember thinking that if I ran, people would see me and my image would suffer. But then my survival instincts kicked in and I broke into a sprint. A glass Oasis bottle went whizzing past my head. I ran so fast, I raced past the other 200 boys shouting, "Where do you lot think you're going?" Next thing I know, someone's called the police and I am in a room back at the school being interviewed. It was mainly for my own protection, I think, because they'd heard that the Triads were after my blood. After 40 minutes or so, everyone had dispersed, so they let me go. But that wasn't the end of it. When I was walking home with 2 of my mates, I saw a glimpse of a black puffer jacket pop around the corner and then go back in. I knew then something was up. It turned out the 4 Chinese lads, all of whom were older, had been waiting for us the whole time. They were deadly serious. So I shouted, "Run!" and the 3 of us just legged it. I remember thinking after, that's twice in the same day I'd run from the same boys. About a year later, I saw one of them trained by himself. I was going to beat him up just for making me run a couple of times. But in the end, I let it go. I didn't need the hassle. I mean, goddamn. It was such a surreal and tense thing to read the first time around. I mean, I was making up movie scenes in my head while I was reading it. So he's standing there, like, ready to defend the school's honor. And all the other kids, like, had just ditched him. I mean, they all ran away, except Akinfenwa, like, who now realizes that he's standing there alone. A part of me thought, of course 15-year-old Akinfenwa is going to take on 4 Triads all by himself. He's the beast after all. He ain't gonna run like all those other 200 school kids. He ain't gonna back down. But of course he did. Of course he did. No one in the world is that stupid to take on these 4 Chinese lads alone. But this was a very unexpected and in hindsight pretty funny moment. Even though it's a very tense and serious moment, it's such a bizarre situation really. It's like something from a movie. Rush Hour 4 maybe. So if we're going to take some lesson away from this part, it's probably that strength isn't always about standing your ground. You gotta know when to run sometimes. Even the beast has to run sometimes. You gotta know when to stop playing hero.
What did they sing? Akinfenwa, your tits are offside.
And then on the flip side, moments like these. The club closest to my heart is Northampton Town, closely followed by Swansea City. But Portsmouth are probably my favorite fans to play in front of. They give me banter, like the "your tits are offside" thing. But at the same time, they show appreciation. They give me stick because they know I'm always going to give their team problems. I mean, gave me a good chuckle, and it probably gave Bayo a good chuckle too. Even though they gave him stick, he loved it, because it came with respect. May not sound respectful when reading it just like that, but context is key. This is a different kind of energy. More cheeky, but at the same time respectful. Like, it's banter. It's not hate. And it only happens when fans respect you enough to take the piss. Playfully roasting, if you will. Sure as hell beats getting monkey chants screamed at you.
Then I get it on my chest, bam. Boom. I'm thinking, what? Then you know you start like, wait, hold on.
You know what they're doing.
Wait, now I know what they're doing, because they wasn't doing it until I got the ball.
Yeah.
The third moment that I wanted to talk about is not really that funny at all. Let's take it back a few years before cult status, before beast mode. Akinfenwa has now moved abroad to Lithuania to find some playing time. And now you may think, how the hell does one end up in the Lithuanian league as a foreigner? Well, I had to write this next part down so I wouldn't get it wrong. In this case, Akinfenwa's then agent manager had a Lithuanian wife, and she had a brother who knew a member of the coaching staff of a team there, a team called FK Atlantis, and this coaching staff member fixed so that Akinfenwa could have a trial at the club. This was his first professional club that he signed for, and that also made him the first black footballer to have played in the Lithuanian league. And you can probably imagine how that played out. The next preseason game was an away derby in, and excuse my Lithuanian, okay, Klaipėda. It was nothing crazy. Actually, it was quite low-key compared to British football. The attendance was only 500 or so. I remember seeing the fans standing around the pitch, mingling together in little groups, and I didn't know which fans were ours. There was the odd scarf with club colors on, but because it was so cold, everyone was wearing huge winter coats. The game kicked off, and I made a run towards the corner flag. That's when I first heard it. Monkey chants. Monkey chants. Like straight up monkey noises.
There was no red flags up until the first game.
Right.
Kicked off. As a striker do, I stand out on the side. So to pick back and play diagonal. So we did that. Played it back, played diagonal. So I've gone down the line to chest it down, and straight away heard monkey chants. So in my head I'm thinking, nah, B. Like, nah, that can't be. So anyway, like, whatever, ball went out for a throw-in or I didn't, so they didn't say nothing. So anyway, went it through down the line, got the ball again, monkey chants. I was like, at the second time, I definitely knew it was monkey chants. So I was thinking, so then I was like, rah, they are doing monkey chants, like right beside, like literally on the sideline. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, say nothing.
I had to check myself. I thought they must be just booing me, the new guy, and I was misinterpreting things. But then I realized there was no mistake. They were being mad racist, blatantly racist. So I played 45 minutes, then I came off, and while the game was still going on, I grabbed the president's phone and rang my brother Yemi to tell him about it. I said I had enough and I wanted to go home. I remember what he told me almost word for word. I would never tell you to stay somewhere you don't want to be, he said. But if you cut your losses and come home early, it means they win. And you can't let that happen because it will haunt you forever. I went back to my apartment, shut the door and sulked a bit. Then I woke up the next day with the mentality that nobody runs me out of anywhere. I decided to knuckle down and ride it out. It was one thing my brother saying it, but something else entirely when I said it to myself. If I left and went back home to England, it would mean the racist would win. However, if what happened in the next game had happened in the first, I would definitely have just thought, fuck it, and left. Our next game was at Central Stadium, our home ground. When full, it had a capacity of 4,400, but as we were still in pre-season, it wasn't even close to full. I came out to warm up and I immediately heard Zigga, 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 shoot the fucking N-word.
Now I know the racism is kicked in. So it's monkey chants. I'm thinking, rah. So then the call, game goes 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden it starts getting louder. This chant starts getting louder. So I won't go, it's just Zigga, 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 shoot the fucking N-word. Zigga, Zigga, Zigga. So it's just chanting and getting louder and louder and louder. So I'm thinking, what the fuck? And what the craziest thing is, and I said this in the doc, say, what makes this, say, more intimidating at the point now is, so we're in a stadium, but the pitch is, everybody's standing around the pitch. So it's not like they're in seats, they're standing around it. So when they're throwing in and I'm they're right beside that, so you could hear this chant. And then, so let's say about 1,000 people, I'd say, so let's say 1,000 people, 400 to 500 of my own fans just joined in on the chant. Half-time goes in, so our team captain, he used to play in Poland. So I screw up to him and I'm like, so he's the only one that can speak English.
Right.
So I goes to him, just out of curiosity, I was like, but what does Zigga mean? He said, it doesn't mean anything. They just rhyme it with the N-word. So I was like, oh, shit.
That's a long way from being called a fat Eddie Murphy or someone shouting my tits are offside. So at halftime, I went into the changing room and asked the FK Atlantis captain, who'd played in Poland at quite a high level and spoke reasonable English, what Ziga meant. I thought it was a Lithuanian word, but the captain said it didn't mean anything. They were just using it to rhyme with N-word. He didn't try to dress it up in any way, he just threw it out there and looked me right in the eye. I was still in the mindset that I wasn't going to let them win. So we went out for the second half, and the moment the fans saw me, the chants started up again. Ziga, 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 shoot the fucking N-word. So yeah, Ziga. Not even a real word, just set up to shout what they really wanted to say, just a springboard to rhyme with the N-word. This time I looked around to see where it was coming from, and noticed that most of the hardcore fanatics were congregating behind one of the goals. They all wore Doc Martens with the jeans tucked in and big puffer jackets. They were the ones chanting, and then I realized they were FK Atlanta supporter. I was being racially abused by my own fans in my own stadium. That made it 10 times worse. It's one thing being abused by away supporters, but something else entirely when your own fans do it to you. I was thinking to myself, hang on, I'm on your side. I got substituted after an hour, and that brought probably the biggest cheer of the whole game. From his own team's fans too. I mean, I got a little pissed off reading this part, if I'm going to be honest with you. So not only was he physically strong, but mentally strong as well. And I think we can link that too with being a part of what the Beast Mode brand encompasses.
I phoned my brother. I was like, yo, bro, it's my older brother. I'm like, yo, bro, brother, I'm coming home. He was like, rah, why? What happened? I was like, yo, they're being racist. You know, I'm telling you, this is what they said. And he was like, yeah? He went to me, listen, B, I won't tell you to stay anywhere that you don't feel comfortable, but if you leave, they win. That was all he said to me. And it's funny because I would like to say that it was like a film and music started playing and I was like, oh, nah, I'm gonna go beat them. As soon as I come off the phone, I was like, I'm coming home. I was like, listen, I'm coming home. I don't care, they can win. But it's funny because I went to bed that night and I woke up and call it divine intervention, call it somebody, God speaking to me at, but I woke up and it's funny because I was like, ain't nobody kicking me out of anywhere. And I remember coming back thinking, nah, you know what? But the thing that disappointed me was that I allowed them to make me come off that pitch in the second half. It still grumbles me.
To this day,
still grumbles me. And when I talk about it, I'm like, damn. Like, and regardless of what, some people may say it won't weakness. For me, it was weakness.
18 years old, alone in a foreign country, getting racially abused, but still shows up to play. Admirable.
But I remember waking up thinking, nah, man, nobody's kicking me out of anywhere. So then I decided to stay and then cool, Lord behold it, score goals in that league. We get to equivalent to what is the FA Cup, so the Lithuanian Cup. We win 1-0, I scored a goal. And then it was my fans, they started to call me. I used to always say, what's up at them times. I think Zukali means rabbit. So then that used to be my nickname in the papers. Oh, Zukali scores again. And so my fans took to me, still getting racist abuse from the away fans. But I learned at that time. So anyway, I say that it was the first time when, not that I felt pride in myself, but it was an achievement. Like we opened up, did the Scissors Cup when Adidas came in, opened up the store, didn't pay in restaurants, didn't pay in cinemas, met the mayor of Clypedor. And it was just like, oh yeah, you know what? Turned their mindset around, or my fans anyway, turned that mindset around. And they were, for me, it was ignorance was bliss. I was like, yo, man, these people out here that was moving like this at the beginning and now looking at them cheering me. But that was the process of the Lithuanian. So that was the major meat of it.
And I knew it was time. Tank, 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 tank. Tank, 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 tank. Tank, 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 tank. Yeah, you get the idea.
We of course have to address the beast in the room, how this whole KSI and beast thing got started. After KSI's video, Akinfenwa's socials blew up. I mean, he was rapidly gaining followers, and he reached out to KSI and told him that he had seen the Beast video.
And I remember tweeting JJ saying, oh, I've seen the video, salute. And I remember him being, oh shit, Akinfenwa got at me. And in my head, I'm thinking, but you just did a video that got so many views. How are you gassed to see me?
So Akinfenwa started to gain a massive following on social media, and it was his brother, Delhi, who saw an opportunity to capitalize on this newfound fame. Not in a money way, but to turn it into something more than just a meme, really, something meaningful, positive, motivational, international. They both sat down one day and thought, okay, how do we combine Beast with the strongest man in FIFA thing? So what they did was they took Beast, they took the strong, how do I do this with the mic? They took Beast, they took the strongest man in FIFA, boom. Beast Moran was born. Or maybe you say founded. Anyway, what they wanted this brand to become was, and these are his own words, in a nutshell, the whole idea behind it is to never let anyone tell you you cannot, fucking hell. Never let anyone tell you that you can or can't do something for whatever reason. The people who do that and try to keep you down are, more often than not, projecting their own shortcomings and insecurities onto you. Don't let them. Something people have always said about me is that I'm too big to play football. Fuck them. If I'd listened to the haters, I would never have achieved anything, and I wouldn't have the life I have now. The only thing Delhi and I wanted to achieve with it back then was to have it mean something. We didn't even know what at the time. We just wanted to create something with a positive message and have people buy into it. His first ever beast mode related tweet was just him joking around while out on the road. This guy's trying to give me road rage. He must be in beast mode. Hashtag BMO. So he started tagging everything with this hashtag, making it part of his identity. And now it was just about riding this wave. The ball was now in motion. And it may have started as a little bit of a banter thing, but it grew to be a little bit of a movement. They started printing and selling shirts that said, too big to play football, haha. And those started selling like butter. Soon, Beast Mode On wasn't just a shirt, like it was a lifestyle. It's more than shirts, caps, leggings. It's a mentality. Might even get one for myself, to be honest. Wow. JJ and Bio, man, what can I say? They both come so incredibly far since that day the video came out back in 2011 or something. But I keep thinking though, I just can't help but keep thinking, what if he never leaned into the meme? What if he never leaned into being a cult hero? He could easily have faded into obscurity in the lower leagues and just ignored this dumb kid on YouTube. But he didn't. Instead, he embraced it. He never chased the fame found him. And, you know, instead of running from it, like he ran from those 4 Chinese lads from earlier, he owned it. And that's beast mode.
But Klopp, you're a legend. We did it. I told you, hit me up on WhatsApp. We celebrate together. Boom, you'll never walk alone. Beast mode.
Before I start wrapping this video up, there's one more moment that I wanted to share. I'm not gonna talk and analyze it and trying to sound smart or anything like that. I just wanted to read it to y'all. The twins wanted to plan every move with strategic accuracy, but I don't usually operate like that. I'm not that organized. If we're hungry, my friends and I will stop at a restaurant and eat. We don't often call ahead and make reservations and shit. But then I realized that was just what she was used to. If you're hanging with the Kardashians, and this isn't the actual Kardashians, okay, but the best mates of the Kardashians. Sorry if I ruined it. If you're hanging with the Kardashians, one of the most famous families in the world, you can't just roll up the places. They need fair warning. We went out to STK's to eat, and the guy came over to read out the specials. The girls could tell that I was so lost in what he was saying. They had something basting, something else glazed, something seasoned, something that's been marinated for 3 fucking weeks. The girls had to break it all down and explain it to me. I was just saying, look, do you have wings or what? They ordered oysters and asked me if I wanted one. I said, what? Hell no. You better keep your oysters over there. I'm just here for the meat. I ended up with ribs. Better than fucking oysters. I mean, you can see the contrasts. The struggles in the beginning to now the struggles of hanging out with A-listers, not knowing what the fuck the waiter is talking about. There are, of course, more memorable moments in the book, like the hit me up on the WhatsApp.
Look, it's a beautiful feeling. Alright, but sidebar, I think I'm technically unemployed. So any managers, hit me up on the WhatsApp. and get me a job.
But I want to leave some parts for the rest of y'all, okay? Go and buy this book if you haven't already. But I do want to read you one last thing. What I've learned is that you have to stand your ground. There have been times where they'll come to me and say they want to put me in a banana suit or have me running around with a tray of donuts or some shit. And I'll be like, fuck no. Are you mad? Don't get it twisted. I don't mind having a laugh, but it's different when you're the one being laughed at. I'm very comfortable saying no. Someone told me once that if it doesn't feel right, don't do it, no matter how much money they're offering. That has stuck with me. There's not enough money in the world to make me compromise my morality. Now, when SakkoRam did the chicken wing challenge, I was all over that because of how much I love chicken. I am also due to sit down with the big wigs at WWE within the next few months, so there might be possibilities there. Never say never.
Was it intimidating one, and did you enjoy it?
KSI may call him a BBS, big, black and strong, but after reading the book, I would describe him as a BBC, big, black and absolutely charismatic and charming. Get your filthy mind out of here, your mind is in the gutter. Like I said in the beginning, this man never played in the top flight division, but he will probably be the most popular footballer to never have done so. I have probably missed countless awesome interviews and moments that I have forgotten to mention, but just judging him from the book alone, as a person, kid, that only knew him from KSI, FIFA, from way back in the day, it was damn good, and he seems like a really chill guy. Did I like the book? Hell yeah, I liked the book. It was so good, I had to go get myself another copy. What did I like about it? Well, he's consistent. This is not a sob story, there's no fake humility. Like Akinfenwa, he's being himself the whole way through. A strong man with a strong personality. Like, it's an easy thing to be a morality preacher, but he kept the same attitude and morality throughout the whole book. He's consistent. Like he says, and actually gotta look here so I don't misquote him, he thrives the most in situations where he is allowed to be himself. And what better way to be yourself than write a book about yourself? And this is gonna sound cheesy as hell, almost like Keanu Reeves' lovely "fight for your love" quote.
Yeah, so, you know.
I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover.
I don't know, no, because if you're a lover, you gotta be a fighter.
How so?
Because if you don't fight for your love, what kind of love do you have? No, I'm kidding.
But Akinfenwa didn't change to fit football. He changed football to fit him. I can't. Ooh, what the hell have you got me saying? But that's what the whole Beast Mode brand is all about, you know, being comfortable in your own skin and owning who you are.
For me, life and football is all about opinions. 4 years ago, somebody gave an opinion on me, and that was their opinion. And I hope my story shows that the only opinion that matters is the opinion you have about yourself.
You know, when he's on page 260, like the last pages of the book, says he feels like he hasn't even started. You know, we're dealing with a big man with big dreams. But yeah, exciting to see what the future holds for this man. If still, to this day, all you know about Akinfenwa is the beast meme, then please take some time and read this book. You'll find that his real strength was never in the strength stat on FIFA. It was being unapologetically himself.
What's next?
The world, I guess. I'm looking to take on the world.